That's fine. Several school districts have requested policy guidance to protect the privacy rights of school staff members by prohibiting audio or video recording of school staff members by students, other staff members, visitors, or any person while the school staff member is performing their board-assigned job responsibilities. Any recording is prohibited without the approval of the teaching staff member's principal or supervisor or the support staff member supervisor. Strauss Esme's Policy Guide 5516 protects the privacy rights of school staff members and students by prohibiting audio or video recording by students without the consent of the parents on behalf of their child and the school staff member. Strauss Esme has included optional language in Policy Guides 3324 and 4324 to address unauthorized audio and video recordings of school staff members and students by all persons, including students. The optional language in Policy Guides 3324 and 4324 make an exception for school-sponsored activities that are open to the public that are similar to those exceptions included in Policy Guide 5516. In addition, revised Policy Guides 3324 and 4324 have the option for a person to request special permission for an exception to audio or video recording not permitted by the optional language. A board is not required to adopt this optional language. However, a board that wants to address this issue may want to consider the optional language as proposed, or a board may want to make revisions to the optional language. So it sounds like it's a protection for teachers.
Yes.
When children are recording
Correct.
their teachers in the classroom.
And it is my recommendation that it is something that we would adopt. It allows for, it doesn't mean that a teacher cannot be audio or video recorded, but they would have to be, they would have to know, they would have to follow this requirement, and they would have to need written approval. And I do think it's very important because just like we respect the rights, as we should, of our children with audio, visual, and getting permission when things are published, we also should have the same respect for teachers as well as support staff, because they're identical, except the support staff is a separate number. Additionally, what I like about this is it does put in there as far as events, because we have pep rallies, we have activities, we have speakers, we have Holocaust, we have Black History, we have all these things, and it doesn't, it would not, that's like a double negative, it would not, so it would not exclude the ability to have that recording made, even if a teacher's in it, because that would be an event. So it would be my suggestion and my recommendation for this to be adopted.
And so I have one question.
Sure. Where do you want Michelle?
Find it? Yeah, you guys. So right here versus optional.
Yeah, I'm reading that now. I just, that, as I read that, the first thing I thought of was I'm at the basketball game and
Oh, yeah, I'll show you where it says it.
team is out there and
So it's
was not seen here
Oh,
where
where it says with the public.
video, so.
Maybe that's what it's saying. The teaching staff and the
That was
principals.
the guidance from Strauss Esme.
Or the members of the public.
Okay, so it's the optional language.
Is not required.
Oh, it's not required.
It's not, we missed the word not,
Oh,
yeah.
I missed that part. Okay, that's my.
And I agree, because I think that's very important,
No, that is very important.
very important.
Because I could just imagine Dr. Higgins getting an email from every parent who's going to attend the basketball game or the football game or the halftime. Like, how are you gonna deal with all that? That's insane.
Right.
But,
I
okay.
have a question. Do we need to address consequences if this were to happen now with the students in the code of conduct? Or is that already in
It's
there?
already, to my knowledge, it's already in the code of conduct. I know it is, I believe it is at the middle school level. I'd have to double check.
We can take a look.
We can take a look. What we can do is we can, if we were to adopt this, because we have first read, second read, we can easily go back. I'm remembering something to the middle school code of conduct from years ago, but I would double check with Dr. Higgins.
Well, it should be in the middle school and
The high school, Dr.
in
Higgins
all the
Square.
code of conduct.
Full
right.
Dr. Higgins.
Shouldn't it?
Actually, even elementary.
Actually, elementary also, yes.
So let's have a phone in half the time they're 3 years old.
Yeah, because
That's
now.
not right, 3 years old.
They know how to record, mom. You know what I mean?
Or it's-
Absolutely. So I think it's a nice way to have that respect, and I do think it's very important, however, at school-wide activities, you're in the picture, whether you're the adults, you're the parent, the teacher, and so forth.
So let me ask a question. How are we going to educate our children on this?
They are already, it is my understanding, I know we don't have a current, I'm gonna speak as the prior principal, not as the superintendent. As the prior principal, it was an understanding, and it was something that was carried out, that no child could take audio or video. A staff member would have the permission of that staff member. So it's something that we've been doing all along.
Mhm.
So educating the children is gonna be very easy.
So that's what you're saying, it's in the code of conduct?
I believe it is.
Written.
Can we get a confirmation that it's in the
Absolutely.
code of conduct for all schools?
Absolutely.
I understand that document is not.
With
the same
one
for
quick
every
email,
school.
no
Mhm.
problem.
Okay, great, because that way it'll match up with our policy.
Absolutely.
Like, I just wanna make, because I don't, we have policies, right?
Right.
And, lack of knowledge of the policy doesn't mean you're not held to that policy.
100%.
Right? So it's kind of like, what's the phrase, as the word hasn't not coming to me, but, ignorance of the law doesn't mean you don't.
Correct. If you say you didn't know, but if you say you didn't know, I didn't get my
know that
ticket
was
in the
law.
mail, but you
Yeah.
still have to
I
pay.
didn't know that was a law,
Right.
that's too bad.
Ignorance
It's
is
a
not an
law.
excuse, you're absolutely
You
right.
broke the law,
That's
you
the
won't
word
do
they
it,
use, right?
kind of stuff.
And that can be done actually, we're gonna have a leadership meeting anyway next week, so that's something we can handle literally in person,
Perfect.
and it works out perfectly.